Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pivotal Change. I'm your host, Ryan Conn from CS Business Consulting and Shelton Associates CPA. But most importantly, I am here to guide you through a journey of leadership, entrepreneurial development, and anything that you can do to gain influence and find that one or two moments of pivotal change that leads you to your success story. I have some special guests with us tonight. We're going to have some great conversations. I would like to have everyone meet my two friends, Emily and Sarah from the R Realty Group. Ladies, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. And well, it's my pleasure. And what I like to do always is I like to kind of just jump right into things because I know we are pushed up against breaks and you ladies live very busy lives doing a lot of really good things in the realty world. So I'm just going to kick it off with our first question about strategies. We're going to be talking mostly about teamwork. So I want to know strategies about you using them to foster teamwork and collaboration in what is a very highly competitive real estate market.
So, first of all, I don't think we really like to see it as a competition. I mean, especially among ourselves, but even with um, other realtors in the community, we really harbor an environment of collaboration. And I think that's one thing that really sets us apart as a group is that we focus on collaboration. When you hire one of us, you don't just get Emily Wilson or Sarah Farris, you get all of us. You get all 13, 14 of our agents collaborating together and helping our clients.
And same even with agents from other firms and companies. If we've got a deal going, we all are trying to get the same thing accomplished. And so working together with those realtors and really coming together, it establishes a great relationship. Moving forward, you know you're looking forward to working with that realtor because you've had the chance to do it in the past. And just kind of really making those connections and relationships and moving forward together kind of creates that competitiveness to go away. And honestly, I think overall makes it more successful than not.
Okay, I like that. I get that a lot. So I'm looking at a lot of people, we've been in business and in coaching and all these various relationships we come across in life, and everybody wants to find the win-win. So you're kind of approaching that from the win-win mindset, except when you guys win, it's not just the realtor wins and the other realtor wins, but the client wins, and maybe people have helped along the way. The appraiser wins, the banker wins. Everybody wins from having that smooth experience, the getting the value out of having a home or a building that they've always dreamed of, and the process again was enjoyable and held by professionals. Is that kind of what you're telling me?
Yes, and that smooth experience, how we win from that is that clients want to work with us again in the future. And so they realize that we, maybe put our pride down a little bit to help them get the house of their dreams. Ultimately, they're looking to say, hey, those people, that realtor worked for me and what I needed. I'm going to call them again when we're ready to sell. And that's where the win comes for us. But it was a win for everybody, in the first round or the original process of buying or selling the house. Would you agree?
Exactly. And I think I see that from other realtors outside of our brokerage from that standpoint as well. If you have a bad experience with an agent, you're going to continue to have bad experiences, and you have to negotiate with these agents. You have to have a good relationship. And if someone's like, oh, Emily, she was mean and nasty, their clients, if I present an offer on one of their properties, they're like, oh, she's difficult to work with. We're not going to do that. So we try our best to have a good relationship with everybody in our community and treat people fairly. And whether, some people might see it.
Right.
I like that. So let me ask a little bit more about balance. So promoting individual success, that's really important. Everyone is ultimately their own person, but you're the member of that team. So how do you balance the individual success to the overall success of the team? Maybe one year somebody's just absolutely killing it in the industry, then another year somebody's on the struggle bus. How do you balance how much to help and I don't want to say cross-contaminate, but go into those support systems, and the big winner for the year is helping other people be lifted up, and the person that's struggling get some type of encouragement or support. How do you balance all that and not take away from the individual as well?
I think, every day in real estate, and I think any realtor could agree with this, is you learn something new, I think, with every deal that you do. And so, we've got a girl that was a top earner last year, and I really looked up to her last year, and I thought, okay, she's done this before. I'm going to ask her about this specific scenario, and she's able to walk me through it, and vice versa. Maybe I've had an experience that she hadn't had, and we can work together on that. But I think that we're kind of each other's cheerleaders. We really are supportive of one another because, we know that the years come and go. It's a roller coaster. Some years are great. Some years might be a little bit less than. But I think learning from Emily and from the other girls in my office and being able to work together overall, improves the office as a whole, but as an individual, the growth for the individual as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Sarah's exactly right. We are each other's biggest cheerleaders, whether it's on a professional level or even a personal level. I think that's what makes our group so great. We celebrate little wins, big wins, professional or personal, and it helps us get better. I mean, if you take a look even at our social media, you'll see, oh, Sarah, she won this award in the community. Everybody say, yay, go Sarah. And we're always celebrating each other, and exactly like you said, celebrating us individually and as a group.
And it's exciting. I like to see the girls in my office win. It looks good for them. It looks good for the office. Therefore, it looks good for us as a group. And, I know they're going to celebrate when I win or when my successes come as well. And I think overall that keeps us less competitive. Of course, with a group of, I think we're up to 13 or 14 girls, sometimes you're like, man, I wish I had as good of a year as so-and-so had, or dang, I'm not up there, with my numbers. But at any point in time, if I needed help or advice, I could ask any one of them and they would kind of, I think, jump in and help if it was needed.
Yeah, that's another thing we really like to do is if there is someone that is wanting more work and needs more work, we're really good about bringing each other on, whether it's listings or working with a buyer. We thoroughly enjoy working with each other.
We
And
do.
it help, yeah.
Or if you're like me and you just have a baby and you want to try to hand off some of the sales that you get, I call Emily, hey, I've got this property, do you want to take it or split it with me? And so it's just nice to be a team who celebrates each other's wins.
I think you're drawing out something that's really important. And on my Ryan Forges Leaders Instagram and TikTok page, I literally just released a podcast about celebrating the big and the small. So I think you're segueing into a good piece of the next question here. But I've noticed that you do that on your social media, on your marketing, internally, just when we have conversations. I think we've sold probably 3, 4 properties through you now, and we've got another one coming. And that's one thing that I've really recognized in your success story is how much you praise each other and how much you celebrate, like you said, the big and the small. So I really want to highlight that for the audience. And then in doing that, you do a great job. And one of the main reasons I wanted to have members of your team, and more of your team will be coming in the future, is how do you ensure, give tips and tricks or just some type of strategy for the audience? How do you ensure that your team consistently presents the best version of themselves and the best version of the properties when you're out there representing and selling and doing the good work that you do?
Well, I think there are two main things to that. One, we have an amazing rock star full-time marketing girl. She's always on top of everything. She's got a set list of everything she does for each property, whether it be professional photos, a video, going the extra mile to do other things. And the second component to that is when we bring somebody onto the team, we're not just hiring top producers, someone that's going to make us a lot of money. We're not doing that. We're looking at your community involvement. If you're going to be a cheerleader alongside with us and work well with the group, we don't want someone to come in here and see us all as competition. We have such a great group. I mean, where else do you find 14 girls that are like the best of friends,
Really.
both professionally and personally? And we want someone that's going to fit that mold and have a good reputation in the community. And I think that along with the social media really helps us maintain our brand and consistency.
I'll give a lot of credit to Dawn. When I first joined, Dawn Arnold, our broker, when I first joined, we were hiring a couple extra people and I'm like, well, I don't know, you start adding people to the group and I learned to trust her. She knows what she's doing and she's only bringing on people that fit what we are looking for and that celebrate the bigs and the smalls and that want to be a part of a community and want to be a part of our community, our little Arnold Realty community. And so learning to trust the broker and the person in charge goes a long way too, because they know it's their, it's got her name on it. I mean, she wants it to be a certain way. And I think she does a really good job about who she brings on to fit that mold.
I like that a lot. So I'm going to try to summarize this maybe in a little bit of the language that I've used in the past for the audience, but you definitely are maintaining your culture. You're looking
Yes.
to hire for a specific culture, not just some person that can come in and bang out a bunch of sales, because there's probably people all over the country that can do that. You want a specific culture. The community involvement was a huge part of what you're saying. So you're hiring more of the personality in the person than you are the skill set, maybe. And I think the
Well,
skill set comes along with it. Now, I'm
yeah,
not saying that you don't have a skill set, but maybe a skill set could be developed. It's already there, but it can be
yeah.
developed with the quality of
I
team
would
that you
definitely say both. And people see us and, they want to hire, I mean, who's your ideal realtor? And you have to look at that. Do you want somebody who's, involved in the community, knows the area? When you're involved in the community, your area, who you're working with, the sellers, other potential buyers, it's a small location. And so kind of being involved allows that to open you up to maybe be a better realtor because you're familiar with in your market. And so, and the skill set comes along with it. And obviously, like I said earlier, there's always something to learn and, constantly putting yourself in a situation where you can continue to learn and grow. I just think there's never enough of that. So skill set can come. And I think that's something we look for, but,
Mhm.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it's
and I didn't mean that you ladies weren't skillful. You're the top producers in the entire region, which is why you're on the show. So the skill is through the roof. But I did want to point out that your culture is different than all the other firms around, which is why I chose you. And I really want to highlight that for the audience, that your culture really makes you truly special. Last question, kind of a little bit more of a quicker answer before we jump over to the break and bring you ladies right back. But in all of the, we've been talking team, we've been talking the culture, we've been talking this. Now let's talk about the client specifically. The clients giving you feedback, the client giving you some type of refining information on your team approach. Tell me about that. And how does that help you with selling and marketing properties, client feedback?
It's kind of like Emily said, we were talking earlier, and she said it's so smart to know
Mhm.
knowing your buyer goes such a long way, knowing their wants and needs, and then listening to their feedback. We get a lot of feedback. What you do with that makes such a difference, and how you grow from the feedback from the buyers. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And we also get a lot of feedback on our social media. We do a lot
Yes.
of community outreach with our videos, and we get so much feedback and people wanting us to come do a video for me.
Yeah.
And it's really great to get that community feedback and
Mhm.
kind of give the people what they want.
Gotcha.
And
I like that a
listening to
lot.
they're the clients and potentially future sellers, and just kind of being able to work with their needs and wants.
Good. That's a great place for me to jump in and get ready to go to commercial break, because we're actually going to be talking more about that reciprocal relationship and the social media and the marketing and how that grows on our segment coming right after this break. So, to the audience out there, stay tuned. We're going to have these two wonderful ladies back after this break in just a few minutes.